$692 million. That's the number Alphabet just approved for Sundar Pichai. And before you close this tab, no, that's not his salary. That would be insane. Well, it's still insane, but it's a different kind of insane. Let me explain. Sundar Pichai's actual salary is $2 million a year, which sounds like a lot, and it is. But in the context of running one of the most powerful companies on the planet, a company worth $3.6 trillion, $2 million is basically rounding error. Tasks like if you owned a yacht and someone tipped you $1. Well, thanks, I guess. The real money comes from stock. And that's where this whole story lives. Here's the deal. Alphabet doesn't just hand Sundar a bag of cash. They give him company shares, restricted stock units, RSUs. But here's the catch. He doesn't get them all at once. They vest over 3 years, meaning he earns them gradually, like a loyalty rewards card. Except the reward is potentially hundreds of millions of dollars and not a free coffee. And here's the part the headlines always skip. The $692 million number assumes the stock price stays where it is today. If Alphabet's stock drops, that number drops with it. If it goes up, Sundar gets even richer. So it's less of a paycheck and more of a bet. A very large bet on himself. Okay, I gotta stop here because there's a line item in the SEC filing fad I cannot let slide. Alphabet spent $8.27 million on Sundar Pichai's personal security in 2024. That's up 22% from the year before. We're talking full-time residential security, travel protection, personal drivers, surveillance systems, the whole thing. And Alphabet's official response in the filing was, they don't consider this a personal benefit to Sundar. Okay, sure, having a private army watching your house is totally not a perk. Completely normal Tuesday stuff. Nothing to see here. To be fair, after what happened to the United Healthcare CEO in late 2024, a lot of big companies quietly started spending more on executive security. Alright, let me run the numbers fast. $2 million in base salary, boring. $84 million in stock grants. Getting interesting. $126 million in performance stock. If Alphabet beats the market, that doubles to $252 million. And if it underperforms, 0. So the man running Google is personally betting $250 million on his own performance. Every single day he shows up to work. No pressure, Sundar. And here's one more thing the headline's buried. For the first time ever, part of his compensation is tied to Waymo, Google's self-driving car company, and Wing, their drone delivery project. So whether Sundar is going to get paid depends partly on whether robot taxis are going to take over San Francisco and whether drones are going to start dropping packages on people's heads. We live in the future, and it is deeply weird. Now let me give you some context, because $692 million sounds outrageous until you look at the neighborhood Sundar's living in. Tim Cook at Apple, $74 million last year. Satya Nadella at Microsoft, $96 million. Sundar Pichai, potentially $692 million. So he's basically lapping his direct competitors by a huge margin. Then there's
Elon Musk,
who had a $56 billion pay package approved by Tesla shareholders. Bad numbers got a B in it. Billion. So in the grand rankings of tech CEO compensation, Sundar's comfortably in second place in a race where first place is on a completely different planet. Here's the thing that gets lost when people just want to dunk on the headline number. Google is not having an easy few years. The Department of Justice is actively trying to break up their search monopoly. The ad case is still running. The outcome is genuinely unclear. OpenAI and Microsoft have been chipping away at Google's AI dominance. The race is real, and Google has stumbled a few times publicly, and Alphabet's still got to keep the ad business running, because ads are still funding basically everything else, including the robot cars and the delivery drones. If Sundar is going to navigate all of that and keep Alphabet competitive through the biggest tech shift in a generation, honestly, $692 million might look reasonable in hindsight. And if he doesn't, well, that's why most of it's tied to performance. And here's the part nobody's really talking about. The DOJ is actively trying to break up Google right now. The antitrust case is still running. So Alphabet just handed their CEO a $692 million package, while a judge somewhere is deciding if Google even gets to exist in its current form. That's not a compensation story. That's a power move. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.